Good evening, everyone. I am very happy that you are now here with me uh, for this journey. And I would like to introduce you our group a bit better. Maybe I will try to explain some activities that we have. I will try to share entrepreneurial activities and talk about Entreprecom that we have that I've created activities for. So I hope that you will join some activities that I will propose to you in the end. But let's get started. So I will share now my screen because I want to show you our group. Yes. So probably you are the member of this group, Entrepreneurship in Education. This is group about entrepreneurial learning for all teachers, for different age groups and different kind of schools, because entrepreneurship is not about business. We already know it. Entrepreneurship is about mindset, about making things happen. So we have this. I will go very quickly through this group, what we have here, what you can find. If you want, you can also join our Facebook group, Teacherpreneurs, and then you can, of course, maybe get more like very fresh information what's going on here. And then we have also Twitter hashtag, so you can tweet with at like entrepreneurship eTwinning. So I would like to maybe to draw your attention to this announcement because now I put 3 new activities there, and announcements are always about new things that are going on in this group. So I will talk about this a bit later. And then we have, of course, expert talks. So there are recordings of webinars that we had last year. So if you want to find inspiration, so you can come here and find these recordings. It was about financial literacy, this one. Then we had project-based learning. We had very exciting, really, this entrepreneur from the USA, and he answered all your questions that you had. He was really great. So if you want to get inspired how they teach entrepreneurship in the US and what they do, so watch this. So we had also Teach Me the webinar, and Are You Ready to Liberate Genius? So it was about your meta manifesto. And of course, we will have more, and I hope that once a month we will be able to have another webinar or expert talk, and I will invite more and more people to share their activities and their ideas. So we had some activities of group members. Of course, you probably know, and probably you already joined. There are some activities, and now the last one is uh, okay. It's on a different place. Last one was, sorry, I will go there. This one, I ask you when coming back to school to tell me in this Padlet what kind of teacher don't you want to be this year. So it was a kind of reverse brainstorming. You can find information about reverse brainstorming, about how to develop entrepreneurial mindset in all these pages, how to develop entrepreneurial skills. So we have some information here, a lot of materials, and entrepreneurial skills, entrepreneurship basic. We have also financial literacy here. So if you will browse through this pages you can find some activities and ideas also of you, of other teachers and members of this group, like here, financial literacy activities. And this is one simple activity to teach at school. Then we have Resilience Corner, also webinar and materials and inspiring ideas from other teachers how to develop resilience at school. And here are activities, yes, for resilience. So always there are pages and sub-pages to with activities for you. And of course, you can share your ideas with us and activities at school. And now we have also the page about entrepreneurship education. You probably know that there is School Education Gateway with lots of inspiring materials about entrepreneurship. Yes, but what I want to show you now is, or invite you, please, to join our activities, 3 activities that you can join next week. The first one, if you are members of this community, if you've been members last 2 years, but already also last year we had this activity, Make a Difference Day. Now I've created a website, so it would be nice if you joined this activity. I will show you now more. You can find more info here in this web page. Because last year's 2 years we did this before Christmas, and now I decided to spread this idea around the world, and we already have some teachers from Egypt or Israel and Ghana who registered for this project. So Make a Difference Day, it's about creating value for the community, but at the same time fostering this entrepreneurial mindset and skills. And then added value, of course, technology in the classroom. So you can find in this website information about this project, and there is a picture about how to organize it. So first we will create teams. So of course first I will invite you to introduce yourself in this Padlet. And even if you want, we already have some schools, and if you want, you can arrange mystery Skype. And how to arrange, then you can just click here on mystery Skype and you will find how to do it. So introduce your school, that's it, the first. And we have also set a deadline. Then the first phase, and this is entrepreneurship, this is entrepreneurial approach. So please divide your students into teams and brainstorm ideas. So brainstorm about how can we help? What is the need or problem of community? And then in the end decide that what kind of activity you really want to realize for your community. It can be anything. Like last year's schools were really great. They helped elderly or disabled with chores. They collected food for homeless. They organized, like my students organized charity run for children in Sierra Leone. Or many of schools sold, arranged like stores with second-hand toys, and all collected money they then sent for charity, or they visited refugee camps. So really there are a lot of things that you can do, but let students brainstorm ideas, because then they will feel that it's something that matters to them. So, and here is description, how can you make it, and also you can Skype your story. This is something that we want to spread this year, like Skype collaboration. Maybe you can arrange a Skype meeting with other schools and then uh, maybe present your ideas and together decide or give feedback to each other. And then another, oh, isn't it not good to hear? I'm sorry. So we have problem with hearing. Is it for everybody that you have this problem? Or can you hear me? Okay, thank you. So maybe, yes, because it's always the same. Okay, thanks. So I will try to be very loud. So then another step is, so first it is like in the class, you decide about the idea, and then second phase is to plan and organize. And here is uh, some steps how to do it, how to plan your project or an event. And again, you can join other partners via Skype or maybe video conference in eTwinning. It's up to you. And then, of course, the third phase is, and I put this date like December because it could be also connected with Christmas. Something nice to do, like for Christmas time, because usually we had these activities in this November, December. So really do something nice. It can be small things, but this believe that everyone can make a difference. It is great for students. And then I put here this reflective cycle that in the end, because after in the end, after all projects or even maybe lessons, we can reflect on what we have learned, and here is one tool how we can do it. So this is like first project that I would like to invite to make a difference day. And another one is island activity selfie entrepreneur. So it's here. You can find more here. It is even competition for teachers. So this is the platform iLink where you can register, and because I cooperate with them, they ask me to spread their idea. So take a selfie with entrepreneur and share it here, and you can even win a trip to Brussels. So find more here in this website. And the last maybe challenge or activity you can join is €5 challenge. The €5 challenge again is organized or supported also by European Schoolnet and iLink, this platform or project. And this €5 challenge, or it used to be like $5 challenge or £5 challenge. Mm, it used to be like for 1 month, but now this challenge is that you give your classroom or your teams some like you give them €5 and they meet an idea how how just for 2 hours how much money they can get from these €5. So they need to think of an idea and really arrange something and earn much more money than €5. So €5 investment and then activities to get as much as possible. And of course, then there are winners, and but this kind of challenge now it's quite interesting. I know that in Great Britain they have 1 month for this. and it's really this kind of challenge is spread around the whole country. And little children do this. So if you want, you can find out more here. This is activity again of Island project. So you have these activities, and I hope that maybe maybe you will like some of them and you can join it. But what I want now to show you, and what was, of course, the focus of this webinar, is entrepreneurship competence framework. I added this one page to this group. So, Entrepreneurship Competence Framework. It's initiative of European Commission. So they invited experts to research what kind of competencies are really important for everyone to develop, and what kind of competencies are needed in to be successful in future jobs, but and also as a self like entrepreneur. So there are 15 competencies, and you can find more about each competence here. You have this link because there are videos about all this. You can see now about each competence. I will stop it because you can't hear now, but there, to each competence there is one video made, so like explanation together with activities that that are connected with this competence. So you can go, these videos are just 2 minutes, no more. Maybe they don't last more than 2 or 3 minutes, and they will it's really very fast way how to learn more about that competence. So, and then we have entrepreneurial learning toolkit for teachers. So very quickly, what is this EntrepreComp? So there are 3 areas. These 15 competencies are divided into 3 areas. The first one is ideas and opportunities. And there are 5 competencies that belong to this idea. Like, it's important, of course, to spot opportunities, to develop this in our children, that they are able to identify opportunities for creating value. And then, of course, they need to, creativity, they need to develop creativity to be able to find innovative solutions. They should have vision and, of course, be able to value ideas. And then it is important to assess, of course, impact of ideas on society, and we really need to take into account ethical and sustainable issues. So these are ideas and opportunities area. Then when we have ideas, when we are creative, then we need resources. So that is another area, and we have another 5 competencies. So it's like self-awareness and self-efficacy. Of course, we need to believe in ourselves, then to be motivated and able to mobilize resources, and of course mobilize, of course, others, because no businessman is successful just alone. It is always about teamwork. And then financial and economic literacy is important. And the last area of this competence framework is into action. So it's not enough, of course, to have ideas and to have resources, but we need to be initiative. Entrepreneurship is about taking or putting ideas into life. So taking the initiative, and then we need the skills like plan and to manage, to organize, and a very important maybe competence is coping with uncertainty and ambiguity, and be able to take risk, don't mind failure, And then, of course, team working and learning through experience. These are 15 competencies. And now I will show you uh, that you can find more than 60 activities. I think that it's 64 in Entrepreneurial Learning Toolkit. Oh, okay. So you need to, it was, you need to go to this island again, but I will show you. In fact, I created this toolkit for this project. In this island community, there is entrepreneurial teachers page and community, and if you sign up, then you will come to this. This is this toolkit, entrepreneurial toolkit. So you can find all these competencies in the sidebar and go to description of this and then activities. For example, how to spot opportunities. And there are different activities. What can you do? Like walking in other shoes or keep an opportunity journal or just suggestion box, for example, that you can install it in your school and classroom, or you can like QR code challenge, uh, scatter QR code in several places and ask children to suggest innovations or something. How can they improve those places? So there are 5 activities for this spotting opportunities. Then another is for developing creativity, so like brainwriting, or this one, 30 circles method. It's you also can find templates for this, that you give your students 30 circle sheet of paper, and they need uh, to turn these blank circles into objects, recognizable objects, just in 60 seconds. It's about quantity, so they really train their creativity. Or what could it be? We should ask always what could it be, not what is it. Like give them any simple everyday object and ask your students what could this be. Reverse brainstorming. There is another nice activity that you can use with all students, any subject. And then, of course, vision, because we know that good and really these best entrepreneurs are visionaries also, and we should have vision how our future will look like. And you can ask children to create vision board, or there is another like manifesto. It's very nice. One school launched this, that the school I would like to have. You can ask your students this, or imagine future. Like imagine, ask them that, for example, give them some subject and ask them, uh, what do you think in 20 years? Imagine what will happen, how this will work, or whatever. So this is just simple activity. Of course, for valuing ideas, we have different activities here, like mind mapping, for example, or you can, each idea, you look at it and try to find strengths or weaknesses or opportunities or threats. Then you can look at any idea through colored glasses, and really give students these colored glasses like blue, green, black, red, and uh, they should look at this idea and brainstorm this. What facts do we know, or what is positive, what is negative, what feelings do we have? You have this slide share how to do it, and really all these activities are quite simple and You can implement them in any kind of subject. Like dilemma scenarios, maybe it's about ethics and sustainable thinking. But this night, like brainstorming again, reverse brainstorming, what would happen if, and these kind of questions that are a bit wired maybe, but again, this can spark maybe also creativity and thinking about impact on society. Uh, there are lots of ideas for another or resources for another this area, like resources how to develop self-awareness and self-efficacy. You can give skills and strengths quiz. You have here also links, and I've already introduced you this tool. Then you have skills analysis. You can use this also very nice activity because in this you will see that different pupils have different, of course, skills, and you can find out who what strengths they do they have, and according to this, of course, give them tasks. Assessment for learning method, very easy method. It's more about formative assessment. So let your students really create, for example, peer quizzes, or ask them three things they learn, two things they want to learn, one question they have. I use this very often. How to motivate them? So you have now, you probably know what is growth mindset, and you know that we need to praise children not for their results but for their effort. So then you can find materials or information about Genius Hour. What is it now? And probably it's a really nice way how to motivate students to learn and to teach others maybe. And then we have Creative Glasses Challenge. This was developed 1 week ago. There was a nice webinar delivered by this Pat Fernandez about this Creative Glasses Challenge. So you can do this with your students. And then we have another activity for financial economic literacy. And you have again the slide share here. Oh, very easy activity and very nice. My first vacation, for example, ask students to plan their own vacation. It's another like challenge for them, and they have to think of money. They need to think of what they need to get there, how to organize everything. Or €20 to celebrate, another challenge. How to organize, for example, birthday party. This is financial literacy. And then we all know that we need to develop leadership, so we have these activities. How to develop leadership. We have 4 corners. Probably you apply this in your classroom, because to give students controversial statement and ask them, and they have to decide whether they agree or strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree, and then they need to give arguments and to persuade somehow like other corners. And so this way they learn how to set arguments, how to persuade each other. And I should have added, and I will add this to our group, that there is a very nice tool, ICT tool for this. And you can use, there is like template, and of course role plays. And then important, the last area is interaction. And there are some nice activities. One of which is also Make a Difference Day, and then questioning. For example, I would like maybe to draw attention to this because it would be nice if we encouraged our children to ask questions, not just to answer. And there is, I really like one idea of teacher Julia Green, and she uses 10 by 10 exercise. So children have to come up with 10 questions during a 10-minute span. And this is very nice. You can use this at the beginning of the lesson or even in the end of the lesson. And this way you teach students to be curious, maybe, because that and even creative. It's not easy to ask good questions. And then catch pupils doing right. How can we support the initiative? Just try to observe your pupils and try to find like diamonds in them. Catch them doing right and praise them, and maybe you can create certificates for pupils. And then they will be maybe they will take initiative because they want to be noticed. They Everybody is happy when doing something nice and when we praise them. So, and then we have challenge. You start link to this. There are a lot of challenges that they have, so you can go for a challenge. Challenging students is always a great for making them initiative. And then, of course, it's important to be able to plan and organize events. And planning is about setting goals. So you should somehow teach your students how to set SMART goals. So it's explanation what is it and how to plan. Yes. So I usually use very simple post-it. Uh, for example, they need to write and post-it my students all activities that are needed to arrange an event, and then they just put this post-it on the table or a big sheet of paper as a timeline. And then we have the final timeline, and we have calendar of activities. Then we even add that when is the deadline and who is responsible for that activity. And this is like first step, and then we usually do it online also and use online timelines, ICT tools. And this is maybe a very important part that we should also train, like how to cope with ambiguity, uncertainty. Uh, Here is a picture that I put to you. Okay, it's better when I put it like this. So it's interesting to watch students, and when, for example, you give them multiple deadlines, or you don't give them all information they need, or you go to a new task even though the previous one is not finished yet. Why is it this, or why should or could we do this? Because it's never in our life that things never goes as, or never, or many times they don't go as planned, and we need to be flexible. So this is the way how can we train this, because sometimes we plan everything and then there is something small and we are lost. But we should be flexible, we should count with this, and with students, for example, don't give them all instructions. Don't show them when you want from them any outcome. Don't show them the outcome of the examples of other works, because then they will try really to create similar things, and then maybe they will not use their creativity so much. Don't give them instructions all the time what they should do. Maybe at the beginning, but then let them or give them freedom. So this is another like important maybe activity or activity set of activities that you can do with them. And then probably you already have heard about CV of failures. That it's not important that how successful we are, but reflect that we have tried something and did not manage to do, but still we are here, so, and we are successful, and we are, in spite of our failures, we 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 are successful. We can go on. So every failure, every mistake we did, it's just a lesson to learn from, nothing else. Another competence is collaboration or working with others, and you probably know lots of collaborative activities. Maybe I would like to draw your attention to jigsaw strategy, but probably you know what is it about. I made this picture uh, for you maybe to understand it easily. And the last thing is learning through experience. And of course, we have this project-based learning, very important. And at least not project-based learning all the time, but give this experience just for a couple of days or one project, even small project during the year, because this is really something that for students can be great experience. And you have this slide share here, very I created for you, and how to implement PBL. So you have all these steps. What can you do about driving questions? You can even use, there are some information, or what does it mean, entry event, driving question, what can it be? So all these steps to project-based learning. And of course you can find more in our group, because we had this great webinar. You already know that we had this great webinar, and I will go back, expert talks, and this PBL guru for me. So information here, John Lerner. So really, if you go to this webinar and also to his presentation, then you will learn how to implement, what to do at school, and even a small project. It doesn't need to be something big, that you can start even with one subject or maybe two subjects. And then learning through experience, I've already showed you this reflective cycle. After every event activity that you do, this is nice to reflect what happened, you know, what did you do, and then what were you thinking and feeling about this, and evaluate what was bad, what was good about the experience. And then of course uh, why you think this happened, and if there is like analytic part of this, why it was good, why it was bad, so analyzing. And then conclusion, what else could we have done, what could we have done differently. And then make action plan, for because even when something goes wrong, then it's great, it's okay, but we always need this reflection, and then make this action plan and come up with something with suggestions. What could we do? How could we improve? That is important. So all these, if you are interested in this toolkit, unfortunately I can't share it just like that. You need to go to this link if you want to have this toolkit, but I will try to introduce some of these activities also in our group. So, but I think that it's quite easy to go to this island community, just register. It's free, everything is free. But I created it for them, so yes, I can't just give it to you like that. And now, again, I will go back to these three activities that I showed you, and then question for you. So this one, make a difference day, or selfie entrepreneur, or €5 challenge. And I will come back now. I will ask you. There is a poll, so please, can you vote now? Which activity will you join? I hope that you will, or maybe not, I don't know. So I will still wait a bit. Yes, €5 challenge is maybe difficult. No one yet. Yes. So I will end now this poll. Okay, not yet. Still it's coming. So we have, I hope that we will, okay, we have also one €5 challenge. Great. But most of all, we have 66% of Make a Difference Day. So I hope that really we will meet there, and that you will join and you will cooperate with the whole world and make something good, make a difference in your community, or maybe make a difference for not only for your community, but you can help other, like we did last year with my students. We helped children. We raised money for children in Sierra Leone after Ebola for the for education, and they were so happy because they had really uh, problems with schools, and our money helped them a lot. And it's such a nice feeling, and for students, and really added value that they organized it just themselves, and it was a lot of work for them. But I mean, they can do it. It's not a problem, and you can arrange very uh, easy, simple activity. It doesn't need to be something big. Yes, good. So I hope that you will join also our Facebook group, and I will put information there also, and I will add. You have now seen this toolkit, entrepreneurial toolkit. So I will add some activities to our group, and then Padlet, and I will ask you if you do any of these activities, if you really realize with your students, maybe uh, share your reflections, share your results, share your experience with us. Or it would be great if you could add your own activities to inspire us all, because we are members of one community. So would be really would appreciate a lot if you shared with us what you do with your students to develop any of these competencies that you have seen, any of these 15 competencies that are in this intercomp. So now that's all I wanted to show you from this group and these activities, entrepreneurial activities that you can do. I will put all these activities again to this group and ask you kindly to join activities, to share your experience, and just support this entrepreneurial spirit in your schools. So thank you very much for your attention, and I think that now it's time to go and to have a rest. And it's time maybe to bring some of these activities or maybe other activities to your classroom and to make fun in your school and to spread joy. That is important. So many thanks, and I will inform you uh, next webinar. I will invite an expert that will share with you some activities for creativity. So thank you very much for joining me, and have a nice evening.